guys, you think?
It was very needed because we haven't been our best defensively. I feel like everybody knows that, and that's what we take pride on. So it was great to see the way we guarded, and we still can get better defensively, and especially defensive rebounding, we weren't great. But I think we did a great job. Then they scored at the end a few more points, but overall, great job. And I mean, it comes from the 4 practices that we had where we really competed against each other.
How big of a focus was that defensive effort this last week?
Yeah, I mean, that's all we were talking about because we knew it wasn't good enough. And games like the one at Utah State where they're shooting like 80% from the field in the second half, or Colorado State, it was just not good enough for our aspirations. So
I know, you got to get everybody else going, but, it felt like you were maybe a bit more aggressive offensively tonight, Alvaro. Is that a spur of the moment thing, or do you think overall this team needs Alvaro Cardenas to score a little more?
Yeah, honestly, I was like, in the first half, I was trying to feel the game out a little bit. But then I realized that I just needed to get a few more paint touches, even if it wasn't to score, but we were just playing around the perimeter a little too much. So my main focus during the game, in the second half especially, was just try to get to the paint and make something happen, whether that's passing the ball or scoring. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm shooting the ball with a lot more confidence, and I'm going to continue to do it.
Javan, RJ Keene tonight, just your thoughts on him, how he played?
He does RJ things every time. I mean, just a junkyard dog. Whatever you want him to do, he's going to do, whether that's getting offensive rebounds, getting on the floor. He's just the glue guy to this team, so he did amazing.
Did you guys know he didn't have a shot attempt all game?
That sounds like him.
I mean, I told him a couple
He's
times.
0 for 0.
You got to shoot it, man. Like, there's a couple times where he's open and we trust him to shoot the ball. He's a much better shooter than he's shown. So we're going to continue to tell him to shoot the ball when he's open. But like JP said, he's a dog.
He's the first guy in the Leon Rice era, for like 15 years now, to play over 25 minutes and not shoot a shot in the game.
That's ridiculous.
How hard is it to impact the game like he did and not even attempt a shot?
But that just shows his character. Like, he's the most, how do you say this word? Unselfish guy like I've ever played with. I truly mean it. Like, he really does not care about scoring. All he cares about is the team. And I mean, he helps us so much, and we're so glad to have him back. And I know breaking his nose was a little setback, but yeah, he played amazing today.
Javan, you talked a couple days ago about just playing more aggressive but not fouling. Just one foul tonight. How do you feel like you did in that aspect?
I did good. I was showing my hands a lot more. It's just more focus with me. It's not anything I can't do, but just focusing on it.
I'm sorry if this was asked, but Nevada didn't score their first field goal for the first 7 minutes and 4 seconds of the game. Like, for what you guys have been focusing on when it comes to defense, like, how good did that feel to look up and see that?
No, I felt great. I felt like that was one of our best defensive performances of the year. And like we were talking about earlier, that was just our whole focus. These 4 practices that we had, we really competed against each other, and we got better.
Javan, just to build off that, when you look at that, like, what was the key to the defensive effort tonight?
I mean, just getting back to the basics. Like, we all know we can be a great defensive team, and we are a great defensive team when we actually focus on it. So those practices were all about just getting back to who we were, because we started straying away from that the past couple games. So it's nothing we can't do. It's nothing that we haven't been doing. It's just something we have to come out and do every night.
What does RJ bring on? We talked about kind of his rebound, but on the defensive side, just kind of what's he bring for that?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, he had a couple steals that were incredible, just playing with a lot of passion and grit. But I think one of his best traits is he's always in the gaps and always, making guys hesitate when they're trying to drive the ball. And that helps us a lot, and that's something that we all got to learn from him and try to do a little bit more to collapse those faces. And then apart, like we said, his rebounding, but mainly I think his off-the-ball defense is really good for us.
The substitutions, we were looking at each other. It's like one person had a turnover or something. It was a quick hook tonight. What's that like? First of all, playing most of the minutes, guys coming in and out, and you're running this thing. Is there anything there? And if you both, is that what we're going to see kind of moving forward? This little quick, active substitutions.
I couldn't tell you because I'm not the coach, but I mean, it's hard to play and think that if you make one mistake, you're going to come out the game. It's hard to do that as a player. So we're just trying to tell these guys to continue to be confident, and the type of mistakes that they can make are effort-wise, and other mistakes are going to happen because we have a lot of freshmen and people that don't have that much experience. But we trust, when we put a guy on the court, it's because we trust him that he's going to do his job. So for us, whoever's out there, we believe in them, and we know
you came here obviously for like a reason, right? Like you wanted to win games and go to an NCAA tournament. So how do you just kind of approach, like you're halfway through the conference schedule. How do you approach the rest of the way?
Yeah, well, personally, I got to become a better leader and, you know, just try to help the team get some wins because nobody's going to remember if you don't get wins. But inside the locker room, we all have a strong belief that we're going to get this together and that we're going to turn our season around. And we truly believe that. And, you know, I think we took our first step today towards doing that.
Is it also weird to be in a position like, I'm assuming any of the other years in your career, you probably would have taken 14-7 and 6-4 in league play, and you're saying turn the season around. Like it seems like you've gotten used to the expectations already.
Yeah, but you know the thing is like, you don't want to look back and think we underachieved, and we all know the talent that this team has, and we don't want to underachieve. We don't want to live with those regrets. So we're gonna do everything that's in our hands to, you know, do what we can do, and what we can do is not be 6-4 in conference. We're much better than that.
Jay, one more question. Who had the loudest voice amongst the players these last 5 days, ever since you guys stepped off the court the last time? Who do you feel like had the loudest voice, you know, over these last few days for you guys?
I think our team's special in that way is that it's not one voice. I would say it's Al, it's Tyson, it's all of our like
Javan.
senior, I think senior leaders that bring that every day, and then that also encourages the younger guys to also talk. And so I think it's a collective effort.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.